I will give you like one singular thought, because I thought the one before that looked so clean. I think it's just the simple fact of like when you hit your move, you just started to like go like very gradually. And that one was like I kind of got stuck behind, and then I'm just starting to try to take off the upper half. Like let that rhythm build you down into the mound. Boom. Today, pretty much we have James right here. He's gonna be working on pretty much some delivery stuff. We are going to be utilizing like 6 ounces as well as 5 ounces just to be able to kind of control some intent during his submax work. The point being is not to like push the envelope so hard, but be able to use the 6 ounce to not kill him on like arm speed stuff. Like don't stress him out too much while also getting gun feedback and just kind of controlling his intent with that. Let's go like 86, 87. Yeah, that was pretty casual, you know. Just like I said, in reality, it's like 3 or 4 miles an hour under. Should be fine, especially with this. So the point of this is like get loose, feel good with it in general. Perfect. Easy money. Like I said, we'll do the same thing of just like progression up the mound. Majority of it with the 6 ounce at first, then we do majority of the baseball at the end. 4 or 5 split stances, 4 or 5 roll-ins, and then we'll start to do majority of the mound work. Okay, casual little build up from it and kind of go from there. But the goal for today would be like we're not going to try to really push past like perceived velo of let's say 80-85%, but also like actual velo. We're going to try to keep it under like 5 miles an hour. We don't want to let this day also affect his like high output day as well. 1 or 2 more. Like I said, that was 78.3, so same idea, like 1 mile an hour. That's also an easy thing to do during submax days is like start a little bit lower than what you think at first, and then let him as the athlete build up that 1 mile an hour and like understand how to gain 1 mile an hour without it just being kind of 0 to 100. And usually like it gives guys a really good feel for like what their body's doing in space at low effort, because that is a very tough thing for a lot of guys, is to go from they'll throw one ball at 75, next ball will be 80, 85, and they quickly kind of skyrocket intent. And we know that that's not always inherently kind of the best way to approach ramping up in general. So this is also, gun feedback is king for this, but the idea of 1 mile an hour is really, really effective at these submax levels. Go 1 more, then we'll move on. Cool. You just go right into roll-ins. Same idea, start the first one at relatively 80, and then just kind of gradually build it up from there. Okay, kind of stay 83 again, so it's a little bit higher. Just like do it again. Good. And like he's gotten a lot better at this. Like usually when guys first started, like I said, there's huge fluctuations in velo. Like I said, and that shows them it's like, hey, like I don't have as good a feel as I think I do. Let's gain some feel, because majority of our throws are not done at 100%. We have to be able to actually get something accomplished in that kind of 75, 80% threshold. Let's go 85, easy. Okay, close enough. Now let's go to some of those kind of like rhythm windups, and then we'll go into kind of full delivery. Like I said, the point with him, we want to gain some rhythm with his delivery in general. So it's very easy for him just to have this sort of like staggered feel, find a flow. And also for him, he has trouble wanting to pull left hard and just kind of open up really early. So it's going to challenge him to also be able to not just go from this position and back out, but actually find direction down the mound. And he's found a lot of success with doing these. So like it's kind of become a staple of his drills. That was easy. Yeah, do another one. So like replicate the throw at the low effort. Relatively low effort. It's fine. Probably go 1 more with this, then we'll go to the baseball. Cool. Like I said, relatively fine. It's honestly a little bit harder than I expected it to be, but the same principles, like he's not pushing. You can see the intent behind it. And like that's also the point of the submax days is like if it is coming out a little bit harder, not close to the max velocity threshold, it's like, okay, cool, the patterns are probably working better and better. And like you kind of just let him roll with it and like let him give you feedback on like what does this feel like, and just kind of respect the gun for the intent, facet, and the stress, but also understand like if the patterns do get better, these should start to come out a little bit harder at what we would think would be lower intensities. So let's go to a baseball. And then, like I said, I want you, because like I want to be able to get a decent amount of work from just like the normal. So I want like 4 to 5 rhythms just to feel that, and then we'll go into normal like delivery in general. You just did the baseball, or you just did 6 ounce. This should be first one 84, pretty much the exact same speed. Perfect, relatively the same, which is all we're looking for. Like I said, the day today is like build volume with good patterns. And there is some truth in like these days too, if it starts to go down or go awry, it's probably not because he's crazy fatigued yet, but there might be something going on where like we will adjust accordingly. Really like basing it off of what his body's doing, knowing in reality like what type of environments you should put him in to kind of get him back where we want to go. And like I said, it's very dictated on like how he's moving, which is the cool thing. Like it's very much in person, in the session adjustments, not so much of like, oh, this drill should work. We just keep doing it. Perfect. And it's a little annoying because like I said earlier, we want to stay under certain velocity thresholds, but his cap is roughly around like the 90-mile-an-hour mark. So we know that there is more in the tank based off of just like, if he does clean up a few things, it should get harder. So it's like, okay, that was a very easy 86. I'm not going to continue to push him to 87, 88. If it one comes out at 87, cool. But I will probably at that point, like kind of tone it down a little bit. It's like, hey, how easy can I now go 85, 86 and kind of stay there for a little bit of time? Yeah, because there is a very fine line of like, if you tone them down too much, their patterns will also start to break down because now that like we don't want to go from all the 75, 80% work to now 60% because the velo's too high. But it's like finding the happy medium between the two is like obviously king with all these sessions. So let's go normal now. And I want for you, let's just like slightly constrain it. So all I want you to do is like just do a little bit of a hovered feel at first for the first few, and then we'll go full leg kick. Our intention is to feel this out, give the gun feedback. So first one's 84, like I'm not going to immediately cue him up with the first throw. I'm like, hey, make a little adjustment from it, see if you can find the 85, 86 within himself. If that doesn't work, then I might start to talk, but like, and boom, he makes an adjustment. It's like a 3-mile-an-hour jump, and I didn't really say anything. Like I said, do I want him to go higher? No. Like I said, you see the throw. It looked pretty casual. Intention was good. So like, what was your adjustment from the first one to the second one?
First one, I felt pretty stuck on my backside on the first one. Like I didn't use the slope. Like I didn't ride the slope very well.
Sick. Yeah, that's a good adjustment. So do it again. Like try to stay the same thing. Do it 2 more around A6, A7, then we'll go full. And like this submax work has been like king for him to just like gain back feel. He's had some like lower body injuries to like not be able to fully, he just hasn't been able to have like that much awareness of his lower half. So being able to kind of keep the intent where it is has really allowed him to just like feel it out. Look at a little bit more aggressive. Go one more, then we're gonna go full D. That was money. That was a great freaking like mid rep adjustment. He was in the hover. He almost started to go. He lost balance. He didn't have to put his foot down. He regained the balance. It's like, okay, boom, now I make the throw. Like that would be like an ideal situation when the throw starts to get messed up. It's like, okay, we're not just going to rush through the throw now. We're going to reset ourselves and then make it. I was wondering what the number would be, honestly, when you did that. Yeah. Okay, let's go full. The name of the game is not just to be able to get good in here and then go home or go in game and like be so reliant upon me as a coach. My goal as a coach is to give them an avenue to, yes, keep them in guardrails, but it's like you are going to be your best coach out there when you're on your own, when you're doing everything by yourself. So it's like if I can give that to them, that is the most important thing of all this in general. Fine. I think though, like just because you've already done steps that are this way, I don't want you to rock forward and go. I want you to just kind of play around with like that move.
As I was doing that, I was like, what?
I saw you, dude. Look at you. It's okay. Okay. And I don't want to see him dropping down to 85. If he does, will he make an adjustment or will he not? Like I said, very dependent upon him and how he's moving. Just be aware of, on the back end of the session, if the number starts to drop when the effort level is staying the same, I don't want him to push more intent to get the number. I want him to also be aware, like, hey, I'm a little bit tired now. My session's done. I got my quality reps in. I don't need to have so much quantity to accomplish the same goal. I'm not saying you're tired, I'm just saying in general. Boy, be looking at me like, oh my God, I'm not tired yet. Money. It's a little bit easier with like, sometimes easier, sometimes harder with one person, but like the goal being is like, we're not rapid firing it. Like that's why I like the short slow, or like not short slow, but like the shorter mound distance of, hey, he's going to go pick up the ball. He's going to have himself time to kind of process the throw, figure out like kind of what he thinks he needs to work on or adjust. And then boom, we have a little recovery window too, which I think is really key because it's very easy to start to rapid fire. And then 10 throws in, you're exhausted. Same, goal will be sit 87 the rest of these throws. Perfect. Don't be stupid. I will give you like one singular thought because I thought the one before that looked so clean.
That felt better.
I think it's just the simple fact of like when you hit your move, you just started to like go like very gradually. And that one was like I kind of got stuck behind. Then I'm just starting to try to take off the upper half. Like let that rhythm build you down into the mound. Boom. Now we'll see if it was a good cue or not because the number don't lie. Not bad. How do you feel overall right now?
I could do this for like an hour.
I mean, that's good. Let's go, because you're probably right now, probably 20 in, I would say, so just like a bullpen. Let's try to have 5 to 10 just high quality reps, call it a day. If everything is going extremely smooth, like in the kind of submax days, I think there's also a piece to where like, okay, we don't want him to start to get monotonous in his training, like challenge him a little bit or just like change up the stimulus. So all I'm gonna do for you is like, instead of going with rhythm, everything was fine, just come set, you know, boom. Money, consistent. And also remember like the short slope, like it takes away the idea of like having a batter, but setting it up like this with a gun in front of you, with the plate right in front of you, and like every throw also was his intention of like, this is going through the wickets. If it does not go through the wickets, I don't care how hard it is, I don't care about anything because it's not going to translate at all to a catcher, into a bullpen, into a game. Like you have to respect what this is. It ain't just throwing hard, but it's like, hey, I have to throw it hard relatively where I'm trying to go with it as well. Money. And the name of the game would be like, I can just hold this forever. Like, and in reality, like as his top end floor increases, so will the submax days. It's like if he's low 90s or mid 90s, like, okay, now we're submaxing at 88, 90 and just in cruise control, feeling our body in space, throwing it where we want to throw it. That's really good. I ain't got a lot of complaints. So let's go like challenge a little more. Start kind of come to your set, whatever. Why don't you kind of pick up your leg, put it down, and then go. Right? Early as hell, first one. So it's like, I'm sure he's probably gonna say something about it. Boom, right? Okay, make an adjustment. Better. I'm saying if you can find different solutions to throw it relatively the same velocity, it gives your body more options to work with long term. That's the idea of like staying athletic in your throwing. Like all that means is you're able to adjust to what you're trying to accomplish and still kind of produce the same type of outputs that we're looking for. And I think there's a lot of value in that, where like we don't have to get so cute with it just being this strict one type of delivery. Like give them the ability to play around with it, be free, let them fail some so they can then adjust accordingly. And then usually when they go back to their normal throw, they already have a lot more rhythm because they've been challenged enough, and now the throw in itself is a lot more easier to feel out than if you just do the same thing over and over and over again. Like it was more forced. Okay, so like one thought, you come set, you're just already kind of wide, so it's gonna be easy for you to want to like already kind of like want to go forward. Same idea, once you press it down, my throttle is almost pressed back to go forward. Make sense? Okay. Like if you do have a hover, you're like, okay, boom, all right, same thing. Let's go one more. Starting to get a little bit tired, or at least what visually it looks like. I don't want it to come from the upper half. So freedom for the last one, whatever one you want to do, and just call out a number and throw it. Okay. 87.2. I'm gonna say 86.7. Not bad. Sick. And the hardest of the day was the last one, which shows that like he was controlling his intent the whole time. Like it wasn't to where he gassed himself out 10 to 15 throws in. He held it for a long period of time. And in reality, like that's how you can also build some volume in your throwing. And then like I said, it's a submax day. He almost like got pretty close to his high end, which like is a good and bad thing. But for the sake of like what today was, it feels easy. It's coming out well. His patterns are getting better. There probably will be a little bit harder throws in there, but overall he feels good with it. Now we can move into Thursday or our high intent day and send it in reality. Sick. Good day.